here we go. We're going to do measuring, naming, and classifying angles. You guys see when I am on the notes. Should have the first little thing there. We're going to be talking about angles. You have some vocabulary, and you guys should have these vocabulary in your head by now, because you've been practicing them. We have the word angle at the top up there. It should be right at where you were taking your self-quiz. Right where you're taking your self-quiz.
Oh.
All right? All right, so don't worry about these right now. It's not where you're taking your self-quiz. They're up here, but they're not quite there yet. You're okay. She will have them. That's right. That's okay. But you have them in your head, so it's okay. So you're going to draw something in just a minute. All right? We have an angle. An angle has sides, and an angle has a vertex. I'm going to bring up some words. Don't worry about writing them down right now. If you want to write them down, you can. Does anybody remember what an angle is?
Yeah.
Here we go. Two rays that have the same initial point. All right? Two rays that have the same initial point. You don't have to write it down because they're already in your vocabulary sheets already that you had previous. So we have some sides. Here's one of the sides, and notice that it's a ray. It's going to have an initial point, the same initial point. So this initial point that's right here, that's right there, we're going to have a ray come out of it also, and it'll be the other side. Here we go. There's the other side. That common point where they both meet will be called the vertex. It's the intersection of the two rays. Now you guys have a place to draw that. Okay?
Question.
Do as much labeling as you think you need. It's totally for you. I would suggest that you're going to draw your two sides here. You can label the word vertex if you don't want to put the word sides on there. Maybe you don't have to. But there's a place there on your notes to draw that.
Question.
Yes,
Are
ma'am.
those supposed to be in these?
Eventually you should have the word angle in there, don't you?
Angle's not.
Is angle not in yours? Is angle in anybody else's?
Draw the picture of an angle and label it.
No, on your definition sheets.
Oh,
You
I
should look and
think
see.
so.
If not, Amy, you can just stick it in. Right.
I see a acute angle.
Oh, okay, we're gonna be
obtuse
talking
angle,
about-
right
okay,
angle,
that's fine.
straight angle,
We'll be talking about
different
angles.
ones.
It's on
But
there.
not like just like the actual angle, but
Okay.
I see like different ones.
Different kind of angles. Okay.
Are we drawing the three different?
I'm just suggesting you drawing what I have in my circle. And if you want to draw the words in here, you certainly can, but they're not, you don't have to.
So I'm just going to draw this.
Okay. Now we're going to talk about how we name an angle. You should see that on there too. I have put an angle up here, and you have that angle on a picture on the side there in your notes. We can name this angle down here using one letter or three letters, and they're always capital. Let me show you how. For the one at the bottom down here, if we wanted to use one letter, we will make the symbol angle. Notice it's not the same as a greater than, less than, okay? The bottom is flat, and then it comes up. So we can have angle, D. That's one of the ways we can do it. The other way, we can do all three of them, and they have to be in the right order. They have to be in the right order. We're still going to put the word angle. It should be the symbol angle. We're going to start with one of the points that's not the vertex. I'm going to start with P. The vertex must be the middle one, and then the other one is there. What's another way I could have named that? If I didn't start with P, I could have started with F, and it would have been
FDP.
FDP. Those are the ways I can name that angle. All right. So I think I've given you a space to do that on your page there, and I've also put a fill in the blank. We named them using blank or blank capital letters, 1 or 3 capital letters, and I'm going to give you time to actually name those. Like I just said, there's going to be a time when just using one letter will not be sufficient. I'm going to do a new drawing here. I'm going to add a line, okay? Right now, if I name this angle D, you will not know what I'm talking about. And it would be confusing. And mathematicians and geometers do not want to be confusing. They want to know exactly what we're talking about. So if there is some confusion about the angle, what angle is being referred to, you must use 3 letters. So if I wanted to do this one right here, this angle that's right there, it also has a vertex of D, and this one has a vertex of D. And so we have, if I want to name that one, it would be angle, what?
PDQ.
PDQ. Yes, PDQ, or Amy, you said something else?
Or QDP.
Or QDP, that's correct. Now I'm going to change colors here. And if I'm going to do the red one now, let's do the red one. How am I going to name that one?
QDF or FDQ.
QDF or FDQ. I'm going to do the QDF. There's one more angle. And change colors.
PDF and
The
FDP.
can't do that color because I already did. Let's do blue. The big angle. The big one, right? So I have angle what?
PDF.
PDF, and we just did PDF a minute ago. Okay? So if there is a confusion about which angle you're talking about, you cannot use one letter. You're going to have to use 3. I changed colors there so you can see. If you need some colors, I have plenty of colors. If you'd like some, here you go.
Do we need to write those underneath this or?
All right, now we're going to have another word, adjacent angles. Is that in your vocabulary sheets? Let's just make sure. Do you ladies have, is adjacent angles in there?
I remember going on that one.
Yes, it's the third one right down. It's the third one on I think the third page. Adjacent angles. There are 2 angles that have a common vertex and a common side. These 2 angles right here are adjacent. The word adjacent means right next door, okay? They have a common vertex, which is D, and they share one side. I want to draw one that's not adjacent. I'm going to do this, this, and that, okay? These 2, I'm going to change colors. These 2, no, are adjacent, okay? These 2 are not adjacent, all right? They do share a common vertex right here, but they don't share a common side. They are not adjacent. We're going to learn what those are in a couple minutes, but those are not adjacent angles. Any questions about adjacent angles? Amy is sitting adjacent to Josie. You are sitting adjacent to Naraya. And so you guys are adjacent because you're next to each other, all right? Congruent angles. What the word congruent, do you guys remember what a congruent meant?
Isn't it like
Same measure and
segment?
side and measure.
Size and measure, right? Or size and shape, someone wanted to say, and that's really good. So if we did congruent angles, they would have to have the same measure. So they would be, angles are congruent if they have the same measure. And you have a fill in the blank there on your page. Angles are congruent if they have the same measure. And so that means we're going to have to learn how to measure an angle. And we're going to do that using a protractor. I have a picture of a protractor, and I'm going to be showing you how to use it. So go ahead and get your protractor out. Don't quite do anything just yet, because I'm going to demonstrate up here really quick, and then you can do it yourself, okay? Yours is is it tilted a little? I can't remember what it looked like on your page. It's not tilted too much. It's on the top. Some of you, it's on the top, some on the bottom. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to put this little 0 space right on the vertex, and you have a bottom line on there. You're going to put, just a second, right here you have a 0. You should have a 0 at the bottom of your protractor, or a spot that they've marked specifically for that. You're going to put it on the vertex of your angle. That's the part, that's the joint, the plate where it hinges, okay? And so then this line has got to be along the 0. There's a 0 on the other end. Then you watch, where it opens, and you measure, but be really careful, there are 2 numbers. You need to make sure you're measuring how big this is, and not how big that one is. Okay? Right. You want to know how big it comes from the 0 on this side up to here. I'm going to come over and look at each of yours. Measuring that one, I got a 40-degree angle. Okay, that's just what this one, that's not necessarily what's yours on your paper, but mine's 40 degrees. Okay, so just watch up here. I'm going to put another one up there. And notice I have letters. And if this one is also 40 degrees, let me show you the symbolism we're going to use for congruent, because that was our title up there at the top, was congruent angles. Okay, so this bottom angle down here, how can I name that one? What's that letter?
Zero.
A-O, in this case O. A-O-B, right? And how can I name this one?
C-O-A.
Okay, so if I wanted to say that they were congruent, I could say, and then we did it with this one, B-O-A. That would have been this one right here. This is B-O-A. Being congruent, that's the symbol for congruent. It works for other things too. And then this one's also congruent there. So I can say that BOA is congruent to AOC. I don't think you have a place to write that down, but we will be talking more about congruence. Do you guys need me to give you a little bit more explanation about how to measure those angles? You guys doing okay with that?
I think so.
You think so? So you'll have to measure some on your homework tonight. All right? I'm actually glad that some of them that you had to draw them a little longer so you could see that works, because at least you didn't get to your room or something and not know what to do. Now I want you to draw an angle that's 100. So we're going to go backwards, not just measure. Now you're going to use your protractor to draw an angle. So you're going to give yourself an initial line at the bottom. Give yourself an initial line like OB here on the page. Give yourself an initial ray. It should be.
Question.
Put a dot where you want your 0 at.
With mine, there's a dot in the center.
That's
so
perfect.
Can I put a dot at this and the 0 and then draw my line?
Sure, that would be fine. Yes. We're just talking about interior and exterior. Interior, we just mentioned, means inside. Exterior means outside. Here's an angle. I want you to name a point that's on the interior of the angle and name a point that's on the exterior of the angle. Amy, what'd you come up with interior?
Oh, L.
L. Heidi, what'd you come out with exterior?
Okay.
Good job. Good job. So L is on the interior. K is on the exterior. You will have questions like this on your homework. You'll have an angle. You're going to tell the point that's on the interior and points on the exterior. We're just going over vocabulary. Okay? All right. Now we have a new postulate. You might already have this one in your postulate book. It's called the angle addition postulate. We're going to talk about first some cheerleader who's got her arms in the air. She's got her arm here moving around. I know it looks like she's got a third arm, but really she's just moved her arm. She moved her arm 20 degrees, okay? She moved it 20 degrees, and then she comes and moves her arm again 25 degrees. So how far did she move that arm altogether? 45 degrees, okay? This, I hope, makes sense that if we take an angle and we add it to another angle, it's just the sum of the two, all right? That's the angle addition postulate that just says that you have the sum of the measures of the non-overlapping parts equals the whole, okay? Just like the segment addition postulate. So, go ahead and look at that postulate in your definition sheets. We're going to read it together. Then we're going to fill in the blanks. You might have actually be in your postulate book if you already wrote it. That one, I don't know, whichever's easiest for you to get out. Angle addition postulate on your terms page. Who wants to volunteer to read that out loud?
For any angle, the measure of the whole is equal to the sum of the measure of its non-overlapping parts.
Very good. Okay, so let's figure out what this even means. So, I've got something here in your note sheets. We're going to fill in the blanks. I've got blanks. Angle FD something plus angle QD something equals angle F something P. Based on that picture. I want you to try to fill in the blanks on that for me. Angle FD something plus angle QD something equals angle F something P. I have F, D,
Q.
Q. And Q, that's this little right there, right? And then I have QDP, that's this one, will equal, I'm going to make it the whole. I'll change colors here. The whole is FDP, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we just use the skills of you naming an angle. We have these two pieces. The two orange pieces equals the blue hole. Okay? All right, you're going to need to eventually draw something like this on those definition sheets, or even inside your postulate book eventually. Okay.
Wait, on the
yes, on here, on your angle addition postulate. Okay. All right, we're going to use the angle addition postulate now to do some problems, and these problems are on your notes. I'm going to do the first one. I suggest that you actually start marking this. You're going to learn how to make some marks on these. So let's learn how to make marks on these. We got the measure of Q. The measure of QRT. QRT is this one right there. I'm putting a dot because I'm telling myself that's what I'm looking for. QDP. It says that the measure of QRS, that's the whole thing, is 144. So please draw on it. Draw on your diagrams. It's going to really help you. So draw on your diagram. The dot means I'm looking for it. I've made a mark on there that says that whole thing's 144. The last one says that TRS, I'm going to change colors here, TRS is 89. I got to put a teeny little 89 in there. Got it. So how am I going to find the dot, the QRT?
Subtractions.
Yes. And I'm going to challenge you on your homework to not just type in your calculator 144 minus 89. I would like you to do this, 144 minus 89, and then type it into your calculator, so that when you grade it, and if you get it wrong, you'll know what you did to do it in the first place, so you can check it and figure it out. Okay?
So what are we supposed to write?
I would like you to write this part, at least, that you subtracted the two numbers somehow. Can somebody tell me what 144 minus 89 is?
$55.
55, I heard. Is that true? Okay, 55 degrees. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to, the reason we subtracted is because if we add those two together, we get 144. We have a missing piece, so we're going to have to subtract. Now we're going to use the letter X in there for the next one. The letter X. It says that I have the measure, of BCD. That's what we're trying to, they tell us that that's 113. So BCD is that whole thing. So I'm going to make a big old arch and make that 113. I'm going to challenge you again to actually draw on that drawing. Draw on that drawing. SCD is inside there. I'm going to change colors. SCD, and I'm going to have to come on out. It's 22x plus 3. I can't do it inside. It's too little. Change colors again. This piece, it tells us, is 13x plus 5. I don't like that. Okay. I can write an equation right now. What plus what equals what? We can even say it in, you guys can't tell the difference between my red and my orange, can you?
Mm-mm.
I'll have to make sure
A little bit, but not much.
little bit, but not very much. The blue, you can tell the difference, can't you? All right, so I've got red, orange, and blue. What are we going to add together? The
red
and the orange will equal the, the red and the blue will equal the orange. So we'll do it like this. Oops. We're going to go 13x plus 5 plus 22x plus 3 equals 113. You with me so far? Mm-hmm. What am I going to do to solve this?
Add like term.
Add the like terms. I'm going to add those, and I'm going to double underline those. 13 and 22 makes how much?
Wait,
35.
Good job.
Oh,
35x plus 8, because the 5 and the 3 makes 8. Please stop me if I'm going too fast.
I think
Where did I get the 8, Amy? Do you know?
Wait, you got the 8 from these.
Yes.
two?
Do you know where I got the 35?
From these.
Good
two.
job. You're with me. You're with
Yeah,
me. I'm
didn't
getting
know it was
not enough
13.
room. I got to squish this down.
I just accidentally put 3 instead of 13.
All right. Now what am I going to do?
Minus
Minus
the 8.
the
Minus
8. How much was that? 105. Okay, good.
Right?
Yes, I agree. I did not memorize my 35's times tables, so I will resort to a calculator. Someone help me with that. Divide that by 35.
3.
X equals 3. All right, we found it. Questions? All right. This concludes. Oh no, we have some different types of angles. All right. So now these definitions are on the definition page about acute angles, obtuse angles, straight angles, and acute, right, straight. All right.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
How many lessons are we going over today?
Hopefully 3. I don't know, we're having troubles, aren't we? Okay, we're trying. All right, acute angles. Acute angles, anybody want to look at, I'm going to tell you, acute angles are small. They are less than 90 degrees. So if you want to write that on your sheets, but they're also in your definitions, I'm going to write a less than, and a 90 degrees. Right angles,
Greater than 90 degrees, less than 180.
right angles, but that's obtuse. Right angles
obtuse.
are equal to 90 degrees.
Yeah,
Okay?
because straight. Yeah.
Obtuse angles are greater than 90,
Do we need to put the less than 180?
but less, yes, 180, yes. What about straight angles? Do anybody know?
Isn't that 180?
Equals 180 degrees, that's right. It's one of those opposite rays. It's a line, okay? So I've got some pictures there for you to do some matching. You can draw your lines there. I'm going to let you draw them from which to which to which. I saw somebody already starting. We have an acute angle. We have a right angle over there. We have a straight angle and an obtuse one. I'm going to do that with you pretty soon.
Wait, are we just writing what they
Just
are?
draw lines. Just go wherever it goes. Just draw a line over there. Okay?
Okay.
I've got one person I just can see who's done. Another one's done. All right, which one's the acute angle? The first one, second one, third one, fourth one. Second one down. It's the little one. All right, this one does not open. It's not straight. It's before it's straight up. Okay, which one's the right angle? The top one, third one, or fourth one? Third one. Your right angles, the obtuse one's way up at the top, and your straight angle must be the last one because it's the bottom. All right. You will be on your homework. You will see an angle, and you will write the word straight or obtuse or acute or right next to it. Okay. All right. Your assignment looks long. If you ever saw this one, it says it's about 35 questions, but you're doing things like writing the word right, acute, obtuse. It'll go quick. Okay. All right.